Are you living in a country where your government prioritizes the interest of foreign invaders over yours, while you're the taxpayer or the citizen or the tax-paying citizen of that country, like me in Germany? Now, I'm not a citizen of Germany, I just live here, but I do pay taxes, and a whole shitload of them, right? And if you live in a country like Germany or any other Western European country, except for the ones like Hungary and Poland that have a set of balls, then you are suffering from being a prison bitch in your own country. And the reason why is because your government doesn't care about your interest as much as they care about the interest of people that come to the country illegally, or even if they come legally, they don't follow the rules of the country, they don't adapt to the culture of the country, and the elites in the government don't force them to do it either. And they know that the regular citizens like you and me don't want that. We don't want a bunch of foreigners that don't mesh with our culture and our belief systems to come into the country. We want to be able to choose who we want to come into the country. We don't want the government to say everybody can come in. And not only that, they don't adapt to the culture, they don't integrate, and then they get money and housing and healthcare and all kinds of shit for free. That's why so many immigrants from Muslim countries want to come to Germany or Austria, because they're basically just dishing out our tax money to illegal and legal immigrants, right, to the country that don't, and I'm not saying everybody, so before everybody gets their fucking titties twisted, I'm not saying everybody, right, but a lot of them don't come to work here and help provide for the society, right? They come and leech off the fucking welfare system, which I have to pay for and you have to pay for. That's why we are basically no better than prison bitches, right? Because the first class citizens, that's the government, the politicians, the elite class, the people that can basically get away with everything. They don't have to follow their own fucking rules and laws. They just make those for the second class citizens, which normally would be us, but we don't even get that status, right? Because because the second class citizens are the immigrants, legal and illegal, doesn't matter. They're both better than us. They get treated better than we do by our government. And let's remember, we voted in the government. Illegal immigrants and non-Germans in Germany can't vote, right? So we're the voters for these fucking people that let these fucking invaders into our countries. So we have to vote for them. We have to pay their salaries. We have to pay for all the immigrants because they need free money. I don't know why. You know what I mean? And they need housing. I don't know why. We have to wait on the list of how to get housing. You know, if it's social housing, we have to wait on the list because the list is being overcrowded by immigrants and illegals coming to the country. Our kids can't go to daycare because the daycares are too full to accept new kids, but they're full of fucking immigrant kids because there's so fucking many of them. The schools, our kids aren't getting the right education, right? Because they can't get taught to the way they're supposed to because half the class is holding the regular kids back because they don't speak the fucking language, and the teachers don't know how to deal, and the teachers are disrespected by young Muslim men in Germany, in Austria, well, probably all over the place, right? Because if the teacher's female, a young Muslim man, a young Muslim kid doesn't really care, you know? So all of these things that point to the politicians and say, look, dude, this isn't fucking working, stop doing this, and they don't. Then the people start commenting on it. If you commented on it, if you negatively comment on it, you're risking a knock at the door by the police if you live in England, and it's starting to get that way here in Germany too. So that's why you and me, we're prison bitches, right? We're prison bitches. We're not even second-class citizens because our interests and our values and what we want isn't even taken into consideration at all. Then you put on top of it that a lot of these fucking immigrants that are coming in are committing heinous crimes. Like, heinous crimes. Look at the rape gangs in Britain. Look at all the stabbing deaths in Germany. Just last week, there was another one in Trier. Another guy, an Afghani, I think, wasn't supposed to be in the country, didn't have paperwork, you know what I'm saying, is here illegally, killed a fucking kid. Again, it's happened over and over and over again. It happens every year, a big high-profile case. And as far as the actual statistics go in Germany, There are multiple stabbings and gang rapes a day in this country, right? And that's not because suddenly Germans got so violent again, okay? That's not the case. This is coming from the migrants and the immigrants. They're supposedly here claiming asylum, even though the majority of the people that come are economic migrants trying to find a better life. And boy, they hit the fucking lottery, because you and me, the prison bitches, are paying for their existence. Isn't that great? Isn't that fucking fantastic? And if you're an 18-year-old kid like Henry Novak in England, and you get in some sort of beef with a dude that happens to be a Muslim, and he stabs you to death, then you get left to die by the police in handcuffs, because the police believe the Muslim and say, well, the Muslim was being racially attacked. So I don't believe this white kid that said he got stabbed. So let me put this motherfucker in handcuffs. And the kid bleeds out and dies right there at their feet, 18 years old in England. I'm sure everybody's heard of it. Yeah, that's it. That's the prison bitch. Poor Henry was a prison bitch, because that's the value he has in his own fucking country. And you know why? Not because he thinks of himself as a prison bitch, or he willingly wants to be the prison bitch. No. Because the government turned him into that. The government that we vote for, the government that we pay the salary for, the government that we foot the bill for, they have decided that the regular citizens of these countries are a class lower than a bunch of fucking illegal invaders that come into the country. That's insane. That's insane. But it's happening all over the place. Now, America, it's not happening so much anymore, because finally America is at least trying to do something about their illegal immigrant problem and getting rid of the people that they don't want in the country. Now, I don't agree with all of it, because they're also getting rid of people that are critical of Israel, like they're revoking their visas and shit, which is insane. But hey, they're getting rid of the illegals. At least they're doing something. None of these European countries could say the same thing at all. They're doing nothing. And the reason why is they don't want to do nothing. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to fix it. They know the people hate it. They know the people don't want it. But they don't care, because you're a prison bitch, right? You're not free. You don't live in some sort of democracy in which you have any fucking power whatsoever. You don't. And you all know it. And the reason why I keep bringing this up in every single video is because that's the starting point I want people to think from. You are not free. You're basically just a bitch, right? And that's the starting point. Because the reason why nothing ever changes, because people are satisfied. They're like, well, I'm free enough. Well, it's kind of democracy enough. You know what I mean? No, that is unacceptable. And people need to stop thinking that way. People need to start thinking this way. How long do you want to be a prison bitch in your own fucking country? How long do you want to put up with this kind of shit? How long do you want to still continue to play this political game that is corrupted to the core, that isn't going to find any solution? How long? Well, that's what I want to get people to start thinking about. How long are we going to put up with it? How long are we going to take it? And then when the moment has come that we finally decide we've got to do something, what are we going to do? And that's what I want to get people together, right? So everybody can get together from the same starting point and think, how are we going to change this corrupted, fucked up, crazy system that only works against us and masquerades as democracy and freedom? Get fucked. I'm done. And I need people to be on my side here, right? I need people to be on my side, and I need people to brainstorm with me. What can we do? But I can only have people do that if they realize they're not free. This is not a democracy. And in countries like this one, Germany, you're basically a prison bitch, not even a second-class citizen. That's how your government treats you. That's how much they value you. And that's what you have to live up to in this country, and especially in England. But Germany's not far off. So that's what you guys got to think about today, people, is how long do you want to be holding the pocket of Bubba, the government, in this country? I don't know. You got to think about that yourself. Come to your own conclusion.